Hi everyone, Sam Rathmeyer here with the Wednesday Night Wine Club. This is the white wine video for the September 2021 shipment. Let's get into it. All right, so very excited about the September white wine, Arnaud Lambert. We've had the Cab Franc that he makes in past club shipments. This is his white wine from the single Midi vineyard called Clos de Midi in Saumur. Saumur is in the Loire Valley to the west of Vouvray. Now, what does Midi mean? It's essentially translates to a named place, and Clos de Midi is a walled-in vineyard that they would have delineated within the larger vineyard that is Brezé. So very similar to saying I live in California would be like Brezé, and saying I live in Santa Monica is like saying Clos de Midi. It's just more specific to that larger vineyard. So Arnaud Lambert took over this Brezé vineyard area. It has this beautiful chateau that sits on top of the hill. He took over a very long-term lease in the late 2000s. He immediately converted everything to organic viticulture. He dabbles a little bit in biodynamics, or as I like to say, bio-curious. And the wines have just improved every vintage. They get better and better and better. One thing about Chenin Blanc, and I brought up Vouvray and Saumur earlier, two very important winemaking regions in the Loire Valley, and Vouvray is very famous in kind of the world at large, the same way that Champagne or Bordeaux is famous. But one of the issues with Vouvray's fame is that it's allowed everyone to kind of coast on that fame. So as far as high quality producers out of Vouvray, they're very far and few between. A lot of chemicals used in the vineyard, a lot of machine harvesting, so critters in your wine. And the flavor profile of Vouvray has been one that I've never understood why people enjoy, because one of the descriptors is wet lamb's wool. Why anyone would want to drink anything that's described as wet lamb's wool is beyond me. It has other qualities to it, you know, orchard fruit, golden apple, it can be waxy. But you lost me at wet lamb's wool. Conversely, Saumur, these wines tend to be very linear and pristine. They have laser focus. Green apple, lemon, some gold. You get that waxy texture, but these wines are all about lift and no wet lamb's wool. So they are far superior. Also, because Saumur is relatively unknown, the winemakers there, they're a little bit scrappier, and they're radically focused on quality because they need their wines to taste better than Vouvray just to get noticed. So it benefits greatly to kind of be the underdog in winemaking. The other characteristic about Chenin Blanc that's really important is that it is an incredibly high acid grape, which makes it fantastic for anywhere from sweet wine to dry wine to sparkling. It's a very versatile variety. This is bone dry, don't worry, but the acid is incredibly pronounced. So I already kind of mentioned the fruit profile. You definitely get white flower here too, and that waxy, I'm almost kind of getting a mandarin orange quality too. This has been open now for about an hour, hour and a half, so those flavors can evolve from when you first open. But really, I want to focus on that acidity, and you should too. So we want to do what I call the acid test, which is basically take a sip of wine before you swallow, tilt your head back, put your tongue on the roof of your mouth, and let the wine rest under your tongue, count to 2, and then swallow, just like this. Oh my God. Oh, it's so high acid. Okay, so, you'll notice that it creeps up your jaw if you didn't all just shudder like I did, but it creeps up your jaw and you just start salivating, and it keeps going and going and going. That's how you taste for acid. Now, as a quick aside, German Rieslings are sweet in order to mask that acidity, because Riesling can even be higher in acidity. And so you don't have to do that every time that you take a sip, but just realize that this is so high acid. On the palate, everything confirmed. You know, it is waxy. You get the green, the golden apple, the lemon, the white flower. I mean, this is a fantastic wine. If I was going to pair this, oysters for days. Any kind of seafood really is going to be great. Chicken, salads, but also pork. If you're roasting a pork chop, this is incredible. Hope you enjoy this wine just as much as I do, and the shock tart acid trip that this wine is. Cheers.